adults, they're going to talk and listen for a little bit. So the kids have to be quiet. Later, you're going to talk. Alright? So you're going to sit quiet and you're going to listen, or you're going to go somewhere. Right. Let's go for this. We have a question here. In fact, I want to open this up. If anyone has a question, ask. If we have the answer, we're going to give. I'm not responsible to know the answer to every question. I'm not responsible to know. If I don't know, I say I don't know. I don't have to. But if there's something there that is for us to share, then I will speak, inshallah. Any questions? Yes.
Today I was reading, there's an article on the internet that was talking about use of tasbih as being not proven by the Sunnah and the Prophet and his companions actually used to discourage it. And they say that using tasbih is makruh, and they bring out a hadith saying that the Prophet said, count your zikr on your fingers because the fingers will speak in the hereafter.
Right.
So what is the opinion and the reason of that?
Well, let me tell you the opinion of the Sahabe Kiram, the opinion of the Ijma, of the Ulama. And then we'll talk about the opinion of the Ahli Tariqat. Ahli Tariqat, we don't even need tasbih. We don't. Because the heart is saying Allah supposed to all the time. That time we don't need this. Yes. This is a reminder. You see, what we don't understand is, in these days, anything that is going to help us to worship, we should not discourage. Anything that helps us to worship, we should not discourage. We should encourage people to worship more. Because now we're surrounded by so many things that is pulling us away from Allah and His Prophet, pulling us towards nafs, the dunya. So anything that is there that says to remember Allah and His Prophet, we should go, we should run. People are hung up over these small things. In the old days, the Ahli Tariqat, they say, when there was no fitna, when there was Khalifa, when there was Shariat rule, the Shaykh, they say, throw all your knowledge into the garbage, and then come through the doors. That's what Shamsi Tabriz told Hazrat Rumi, throw all your books now. That doesn't mean we're against knowledge, of course not. That doesn't mean we're against book knowledge, of course not. But people, their minds are corrupted and say, oh, that means these ones, they hate Sharia, they're against the Sharia. No, it is not. It's not the point. As you go higher in your education, in this world, there are certain things that you have to leave behind. And you know what? If you go to the highest teacher in your field, that one will almost definitely say, whatever you've learned from now, forget it. Isn't that true? Now we're going to teach you something that you've never heard before. So now, Muslims are hung up about all these small matters. For over 20 years, 30 years, whatever, the alims, they're hung up about sighting of the moon. Allah, Allah. Are there no bigger issues for us to be busy with? Are there no other issues that should get our attention in our heart as in our prayers? After Prophet passed, ﷺ, what was the most pressing issue? Was it sighting the moon? Why not? Or Tasbih? It was Khilafah. Who is going to lead? After the last Khalifa was removed from his office, the alims quickly they gathered together. They say we have to elect a new Khalifa. Never before has happened in Islam that we did not have a Khalifa. Never. But of course, those Saudis, they had their own conference happening at the same time, pulling people. And that continued. That fitna continued. Okay, you don't believe in Khilafah. It's okay. Although the Prophet says, he who dies without giving Bayaat to a Khalifa dies in the age of Jahiliyyah. 3 days If there is no Khalifa, there is no Islam. This is a side of our history that nobody really talks about, because you enter into very painful subjects that you have to re-examine yourself and your community. That when Hazrat Umar, he passed, and there were nominees for the Khilafat, and these nominees were out of 124,000 Sahabis. He gave an order. He said, bring all these nominees together. Some of them were the Ashra Mubashara, some of them higher level Sahabis, and every single one of them could hold the office of Khalifa. You know what he said? Hazrat Umar al-Faruq, the Prophet praised him. If there was going to be a prophet after me, it was going to be Umar. He said, they have to decide the Khalifa within 3 days. If they don't decide within 3 days, if they still have not come to a decision, cut all their necks off. Now what does this mean? We're intelligent people here. We don't jump to conclusions. We're not emotional people here. We understand. What does that mean now? What does it mean to have a Khalifa? There is no fitna. If you have a Khalifa, the Khalifa can lead you and protect the Ummah. The Ummah is not protected now. Okay, you don't want to believe in the Khalifa. Everyone has a choice, but you have to live with your choices. What are the pressing concerns? So many. What is happening in Syria? What is happening in Afghanistan? What is happening in Chechnya? What is happening in Western China? Happening all around the world now. Okay, so this is when religion now becomes divided. It has nothing to do with life or the social life of the Muslims, and becomes just something that you practice 5 times a day, once a week going to the Jammah, or twice a year going to the Jammah for Eid. So now we have fulfilled that prophecy of the Holy Prophet. He says, my nation in the Akhir Zaman, they will follow the Jews and the Christians step by step. Even if they enter into the hole, my nation will continue. Now, which means what? We have a distinct identity, distinct way. We eat with our right, not with our left. What can be more basic than that? We use our left for other things. They still have not come to the station to know that they have to use this to clean. I'm speaking openly here. Okay, you don't want to get into politics. MashaAllah. Don't get into politics. Although the Prophet says the Ummah is one body. If one feels the pain, the whole body is in fever. Really? If the scholars are really in a fever because of the situation of the Ummah, they're not going to sit around discussing moon sighting. But the awliya Allah, they are crying every night. They are crying. Sincerely, they are crying. This is, Ya Rasulullah, save your nation. Save your nation. Okay, fine, leave that aside. Let's talk about spiritual things. And there are the spiritual things they should be concerned about. What about the destruction of Mecca and Medina? That every trace that the Prophet touched, walked on, felt, was sitting on, was standing on, was leaning against. Tabaruk. Everything is getting wiped out. That there is no physical memory now. The Holy Prophet said to us. Why aren't we being busy with that? So there are hang-ups, and these are the tricks. You're asking me from the position of our tariqat. These are the tricks and the traps of shaitan. To make the ummah to be busy with things for them to get drunk. Not with the important things. With tasbih, makruh, haram, halal, bidah, kufur, shirk. Mawlid. Haram, halal, bidah, kufur, shirk. Be concerned with that. We have brothers in China. They're not using tasbih. They're using stones to throw into the circle, counting as tasbih. And that is still continuing from the time of the Holy Prophet. The Sahaba Kiram, I believe it was Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, who had a tasbih. He was a string that he tied knots. And he would always say, Subhanallah, alhamdulillah, wa la ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, before he goes to sleep, making the tasbih. Oh, it didn't exist during the Prophet's time. Television didn't exist too. We had no problems with that. How about iPhone? No problems with that. What about this furniture? What about this? What about this? What about this? Then, kullu haram. Kullu bid'ah. Kullu haram. We are sunk in the bid'ah now. These questions, just because we go to English language colleges, do you think this is the first time in 1400 years that Muslims have asked this question? No. Islam was able to have a civilization because we were not hung up. It's already been answered within a couple of hundred years. We've already poured through Greek philosophy. And it wasn't Imam al-Ghazali who said, these ones, the Muslims who are hung up on Greek philosophy, they're like licking the dry bones of these dead Greek philosophers to find truth, when we already have the truth, which is in the Holy Prophet ﷺ. He came perfect. We don't have to look anywhere else. So now, when you're not hung up, you can move forward. If you're hung up, you're just going to start bickering. That's exactly what is happening. So no. This is not opinion of a minority. This is the opinion of a majority. This is an ijma. But now, since the Khilafah is removed, the voice of the majority is quashed, the minority become very vocal. Minority now is supported by those who don't like Islam very much. Where we get our history from? Do we write our own history? Our history is written by those who live to destroy us. By our enemies. We're not even allowed to read or write or understand our own history. It's like you, as a person, you know you have an enemy, his main purpose is to bring you down. You don't even have the right to your own name. He names you. He tells you to forget your past. He gives you a past. And he tells you how to walk in the future. You think you'll ever become inside Kamil? You become psychotic. That's what the Ummah is in a station of psychosis. We've fallen back into Jahiliyyah. What do I mean by that? Tribalism. What do I mean by that? Nationalism. We're not one Ummah. How are you going to unite under one Ummah? Oh, unite with the Shahada. Don't we all have Shahada now? Why aren't we united? Follow the Sunnah. Sunnis claiming to follow the Sunnah. Shias claiming to follow the Sunnah. Salafis claiming to, everyone claiming to follow the Sunnah. So how are we going to unite? How did the Muslims always look back to the time of the Prophet? Don't think too much. We have from the Prophet's character a perfect example. There is Ayatul Karimah. How did the Muslim Sahabis unite? Under the Prophet. After the Prophet passed, how did they unite? Under Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq, Hazrat Usman, Hazrat Umar, Hazrat Usman, Hazrat Ali, continuing. So, there are some other things that we need to think about. Because these are very major things to think about. But, like I said before to Brother Salim, the people of Batil, they are together against the Islam or Ahl Sunnah, or whatever you say, they're together. But the Ahlul Haq, they're fighting. Mazhab fighting with Mazhab. Tariqat fighting with Tariqat. Shaykh fighting with Shaykh. Murid fighting with Murid. Hey, like this. When are we going to grow up? So now, Salim is showing, and we are doing it, we need to come together. Yes? We need to come together, and we need to sit with each other. So many things. I saw one YouTube video, they're showing a picture of the Mosque of the Prophet, you know, the outline of the Kuba and the Minaret. So, oh, very good. Let me see this Arabic. I'm looking, it has that in the screen. It's in Arabic. Then see this Shaykh standing there delivering a speech in Arabic. He's wearing a turban. I said, hey, mashallah, he's wearing a turban. Because we come to the point now, only Ali Sunnah and Ali Tariqat, they wear turbans. But the turban is the crown of the believers, Prophet said. Hazrat Jibreel alayhi salam, he always appears to the Prophet when he is in the human form, wearing a turban, wearing a jubbah, and carrying a cane. There is nothing arbitrary in Islam in the way that the prophets or the awliya Allah, they do things. Nothing is arbitrary. So it's talking, it's like, brothers, very nice. Giving salawat before starting. Oh, mashallah, very good. This is just to show you that this world is a liar, it tricks you. Shaitan tricks you, our ego tricks us. It is their job to trick us. It is their job as a believer not to be tricked. Holy Prophet says, those who cheat and those who get cheated, they're not from our nation. So now, he started speaking. He says, my goodness, you have asked me whether the mawlud of the Prophet ﷺ, it is halal or haram. Whether to gather and to remember the Siratul Nabi, it is haram or halal. Whether to feed people in this way, it is halal or haram. Or to give sweets and candy to children to commemorate the birth of the Prophet, whether it is halal or haram. My brothers, I tell you, wallahi, kullu haram. I was like, what? Giving sweets and candy to kids, it is forbidden? Which religion you belong to now? To feed people, it is forbidden. To remember the life of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, it is haram. There is an open hadith that the Sahabi Kiram, they gathered to make mawlud. I'll let you find out for yourself about that hadith. So, it is their job to trick us. It is the job of a believer not to be tricked. Beware the vision of the believer, Holy Prophet said, because he sees with the nur of Allah. We're not claiming to be those ones, but we should be more intelligent not to be tricked. Inshallah. And as you like, this Tasbih, Tasbih, whatever you want to call it, is reminding. What is his niyat? What is your niyat now? Niyat counts for something, right? What is the niyat now? It is to remember Allah. I'm speaking to you, I'm speaking, and then holding this, and this can say Allah, Allahumma salli Allah, subhanallah, alhamdulillah, wa la ilaha illallah. If we're speaking normally, I'm holding this in my hand, I'm talking, I'm forgetting, this is reminding me. Now I'm going to make zikr, I'm going to remember my Lord. Why do we have to remember our Lord? Because our Lord remembers us. Isn't it polite now to remember that one who remembers us? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is calling to us every single day, every single hour, every single moment He's calling us. What is He asking? The same question He asked on the day of Alastu bi Rabbikum. Qalu Bala. That He asked on the day of promises, the day of Alastu, am I not your Lord? And we answered, indeed you are. Allah's question continues from pre-eternity to post-eternity. Now if we remember Allah, then we are answering that question. As you like, I'm not here giving a fatwa for people saying this or saying that. If you like, do it. You don't like, it's free. But everyone now, you're responsible. So, that's as much as I know. You count your fingers? Yes, we do that too. But there is a way of doing it too. Prophetic way of doing it. There is a prophetic way of cutting your fingernails. There is a prophetic way of eating and what you're eating. It's one great alim and saint. He doesn't eat the melon, although Prophet loves to eat the melon. They ask him, why are you not doing the Sunnah? He says, because I'm not sure how Prophet cut it. And if I cut it the wrong way against the way that he cuts it, I'm committing a gunnah. So I don't. See, this is adab. This is adab. Now, we're talking about tariqah, ilm, adab. That is the essence of our religion. Shaitan has knowledge, but he has no adab to his Lord. One time he made a mistake. Be sincere. How many times in a day we're making mistakes to our Lord? Of course, it's not touching on those ones. I don't make anything. Then you're not even coming to an understanding of what we're talking about. It's okay, leave that. Because now we're talking about polishing of the hearts. So, all these things, to answer a little bit of your question too, is coming to that. Because our brother asked, there's a question, saying, and I know that it's coming sincerely, it's not coming with anger or arrogance. He's saying, is it really necessary for a Muslim to give bayat to a friend of Allah, to a Shaykh? Is it necessary? I've been asked that question so many times. Before we give our opinion, let's look at what bayat is and who gave bayat. Who did? Who was the first ones to give bayat? Sahabe Kiram. Who did they give bayat to? Holy Prophet ﷺ. What was the bayat called specifically? That Bayatul Ridwan. When they're about to enter into Mecca and to make the Hajj, and they stopped them from entering. The Muslims were very strong at that time. They say, let's go to war, let's fight them, we can defeat them. Holy Prophet says, take bayat with me. You are going to swear allegiance. You're going to obey me. You're going to submit to me. You're not going to say, I know Allah, and Allah is saying this to me, and according to my relationship, you're going to obey me. And they did. Bayatul Ridwan. Then when Prophet gave them the order, now, pick up your ihram, shave your head, it is as if you made the Hajj, cut one animal. We're not entering Mecca this year. Some of the other Sahabis, as they rose up, the Prophet reminded them, you have bayat with me. So that is Bayatul Ridwan. Whose example is it? Sahabe Kiram. Whatever that Sahabe Kiram they do, or they did, and the Holy Prophet approved of, it is a Sunnah. Like so many people don't know. When you have the Muezzin, the Imam says Allahu Akbar, the Muezzin goes Allahu Akbar, Sami Allahu liman hamdah, Rabbana wa lakal hamd. Holy Prophet did not do that. Hazrati Muawiyah did that. And Prophet heard and he liked it. And he said, keep that. That becomes now a Sunnah. So now, just forget about everything else, just according to intelligence. If there's something that the Sahabe Kiram they did, do you think it's good for us to do or no? How can you say no? It is not. Understand? But you're going to say, but that is Sahabi and the Prophet. Then you're going to say the whole of Islam is about Sahabi and the Prophet. So how are you going to pick and choose now? This is now coming to the point, if you believe in the Warisul Anbiya, you believe in the inheritors of the prophets, those who inherit that knowledge and the light of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, that they are the hadith saying, the sheikhs of my nation, they are like the prophets of their nation. You see, The knowledge of Islam is never contained in books. Pretty bold statement, huh? No book can be greater than the Quran Karim. Was the Quran Karim revealed to the Prophet as a book? Did the Sahaba Kiram take that book and put that in their lives? That Mus'haf was not even compiled until the time of Hazrat Usman. Meaning now, there are walking Qurans. Their knowledge that is not contained now. I'm not belittling it because you're asking me according to this level, according to where we're coming from, and this is our answer. We're not here to argue with no one. If you believe in Sharia law, you believe ilm is the most important thing, go ahead, it's good for you. But now we come to the point where Holy Prophet said to Hazrat Jibreel, you're going to leave your friend alone. And Jibreel is saying, from here on in, I cannot follow you, Ya Rasulullah. If I come forward just in a hair's breadth, the divine light is going to burn me. The end of what? Sidratul Muntaha. So now, Sahaba Kiram, they gave Bayaat to the Prophet. Sahaba Kiram gave Bayaat to Hazrat Abu Bakr. Then Hazrat Umar asked Usman, continuing. That is a physical bayat to say that you are our ruler in the temporal realm, this world. Then there is the batin knowledge. Knowledge is two, Zahir and Batin. Not 3 or 4, Zahir and Batin. There's Zahir and there's Batin. Islam is always leadership. There is always something that is high and something that is low. Can anyone say that the Zahir knowledge is higher than the Batin knowledge? Can you? I mean, really, I'm asking. Can anyone say that? No. Can we say the body is superior to the spirit? No. So there is Batin knowledge. The Batin knowledge the Holy Prophet ﷺ gave to certain of his Sahaba Kiram to spread to others. That after a while they say, we read, we did this, but we need something else. Now this is when this Batin knowledge, ilm, is going to kick in. One day he said, as we're about to do now, he says, Ya Abu Bakr, sit in front of me. Hazrat Abu Bakr sit in front of the Holy Prophet ﷺ on his knees, their knees are touching, and he looked around, Holy Prophet saying, are there any strangers amongst us? He says, no, Ya Rasulullah. He says, dim the light. They start to make a zikr. And in that zikr, Holy Prophet then put knowledge into the heart of Hazrat Abu Bakr. Put knowledge more and more and more. And Hazrat Abu Bakr became more and more and more solid, more and more stronger, like a mountain that Allah describes. Those ones, the mountains in the Quran, Ya Allah. And he said, whatever Allah puts in my heart, I pour into the heart of Abu Bakr. This Hadith Sharif. Then he called Hazrat Ali. Karamallahu wajhah. Says, Ya Ali, come and sit in front of me. Hazrat Ali sat, their knees are touching. This is not story. This is not, oh, just story, just hikayah, just tales. You know who takes that stance? The Quran itself is saying, the hypocrites and the Jews. They listen to the Holy Prophet speaking, alayhi wasallam speaking, the Quran, and recalling the stories of the earlier nations and their prophets, and they say, oh, these are just stories of old. This has nothing to do with reality or with what we're going through right now. We don't believe in them. Some people, they're charging that we're saying the same thing. It's okay. We don't mind. Allah is watching. So now, Hazrat Ali, they started making the zikr. Holy Prophet ﷺ made the zikr and started to put knowledge into his heart. He started shaking. Started to put more knowledge, he started shaking and shivering. He was shaking. It's not easy now to carry the knowledge coming from the Prophet ﷺ. He's not a normal person. He was a prophet when Adam ﷺ was between water and clay. And when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, do you not remember this and this happened? Do you not remember this and this happened in the Holy Quran? He is speaking because Holy Prophet ﷺ witnessed those events too. As he was shaking because he was a young man, different from Hazrat Abu Bakr. That passion was kicking into him. After the zikr, he said to the Holy Prophet ﷺ, I cannot contain this in my heart anymore. It might break. And there are certain people in tariqats, when they overcome with an ashq, especially the Rufais, Qadiris, you feel that you want to explode with this extreme love, with this passion that comes into you. The Prophet said, go to the mountains and scream this secret. Nothing heard except for two creatures that Allah let to hear. One is the reeds, grows amongst the waters, mud. And the other one is an aquatic plant. Okay, it's a specific name for that. These two, they heard that secret and they took it. And these are the two that, especially in the Madhhabi tariqat, that they use for sama, for zikr. The name, we read as a name in the oud. Who's going to believe in this? We don't expect everyone to believe in this. Just as Abu Bakr Siddiq said to his daughter, I'm burning all these secret knowledge, ilm, let's not use secret, ilm, hidden ilm. I'm burning all of this. And his daughter has she says, why are you burning? Oh, my father says, because if I say this out, they're going to cut my neck off. Sahabis. Hazrat Abu Bakr said the same thing too. So, from that time until today, still the same thing. It's happening. But, now back to the question of whether the Bayaat is really necessary or not. You answer that question now. If the Holy Prophet ﷺ was here, then you know what, he is here. Alhamdulillah. If he is here, are you going to take Bayat with him or no? Obviously we are going to, right? Yes. He has left his inheritance. So now, if you like, be in that circle, because they're only holding us and praying for us and helping us to reach to the station that Allah has created for us. وَمِنَ اللَّهِ التَّوْفِيقِ الْفَاتِحَةِ. Assalamu alaikum.